The new location for the North Pole is 85 degrees point 1 north by 134 degrees point 4 east. I'm going to show you something here. It's quite alarming because these are the new positions for the North Pole as we've been tracking it, and as you can see, 6 months ago in December we tracked the North Pole to that position. We can see that the new position on the 1st today of June 2013, it has moved 161 miles. That's according to that speed that it has moved. We've got a new position, by the way, because I mean this is really exciting stuff. First of all, we know that the pole is still migrating across towards Siberia, but the more important point here is the speed at which it is doing it right now. Now remember, according to that experiment, what happens when it gets to 40 degrees, when that has covered a distance of 40 degrees across the globe. According to the experiment, it gets into the weak field lines and will flip at that point. Now, I'm not sure whether it'll do it in 2 days, 3 days, I don't know. All I know is from the experiment that I concluded, that pole, or on the magnet and the compass, it turned pretty much instantly. Now, I don't know whether that could take 6 hours before it reaches a new equilibrium, 40 degrees south, I don't know. We know there is something seriously affecting our weather. It is affecting the rate of earthquakes, volcanic activity, and the jet streams. I mean, I still believe that the jet streams could be being dragged by the magnetic North Pole. I don't think it's, the reason the North Pole is where it is and the jet streams are where they are is for no reason. I do believe that there is a connection, certainly, to those. So, as I said, in 6 months it's travelled easterly towards Siberia another 161 miles, according to this calculation. I'm pretty confident that where my position is right, on there, even though I haven't had 2 more triangulations to pinpoint it accurately, I'm pretty confident that in my measurements here, we've got the pole where it actually is today. The other thing is, I just measured it from where it is to, Siberia, and according to my calculations, we're still, 621 miles away from the coastline of Siberia. Now, all we need to do is divide that by the speed it's travelled, right? So we divide it by 161 miles, and we know that we're less than 2 years out before it actually ends up on the coastline of Siberia. This is serious stuff. The pole, as it appears, seems to have gone up another gear, and it is moving quicker. I'm excited by this, but at the same time, I'm seeing, other changes accelerate as well, and what I'm talking about is the British weather. It just isn't the same anymore. It is, and I think everybody knows this. It's not just the British weather. I mean, this is global change in climate, and that it's changing is obviously not just related to, jet streams and other things. It looks to me like now we're seeing evidence that it is connected to the migration of the North Pole, which is exponentially increasing in speed as time goes on. So like I said, it's going to be on the coastline of Siberia within 2 years, and I dare say it will now start to increase as it reaches that all-important 40 degrees point. It's new territory when that happens, because, as we can conduct these experiments to see what happens when it gets to a certain point. We really don't know what effects this will have on the globe. There you go. The North Pole in 6 months has migrated further towards Siberia by 161 miles. Because yesterday when I was out there with the compass, I noticed the sun wasn't actually setting in the west. In fact, it was almost 310 degrees, putting it almost, coincidentally, 40 degrees out from where it should be setting in the west. Whether that's something, we should be alarmed about or not, I don't know, but I just find it, as the magnetic North Pole migrates towards Siberia and reaches that all-important 40 degrees across the northern hemisphere of the Earth, that, the sun is almost out in its point of setting by the same amount, 40 degrees. I'm really excited about this because, we are seeing evidence, can it get any more accurate than this? I mean, what do you need now for me to prove that something has definitely gone wrong, with the everyday functioning of this planet? Whatever's causing it could be, as I've said in my theory, solar output has reduced. And when I said that boiling temperatures increased because of the low solar output, because it's improved now the vacuum which our solar system sets in, or if you like, the heliosphere, what I'm saying is if the sun's output has reduced more, then the core temperature will get hotter at this planet. And as we done in the experiment, we found that when we heat up magnets, they lose their ability to be strong magnets. In fact, if you put them in the fire, they lose it completely. So what I'm saying is as the core of the Earth is heating up more, then it's losing its magnetic ability to hold its fixed and current position, and it will accelerate. We can see, a definite acceleration in the North Pole. Only within 6 months have we seen it move 161 miles. That must be over 300 miles a year. So we're nearly moving a mile a day. Think about that. That pole now is migrating almost at a rate of a mile a day. Could be around about 0.9, 0.8, 0.5. Let's not be nitty gritty. We know it's nearly a mile a day anyhow. So there you go. That's the new current position of the North Pole, where it is. It is migrating. Something definitely is affecting it. Whether my theory is right on the core heating up because of the low solar output, and if that is right, then we can use this in reverse, and we can say, look, we know the sun's output is diminishing now, despite what NASA and all the others are putting out there. We can see it for ourselves. Something has definitely. These small things nobody notices and takes for granted. This is what I've been saying for the last few months, is we take it for granted. We don't notice the sun setting slightly off its course. We certainly aren't going to notice when we look at the North Pole and it still points to the North Pole on your compass. We're still not going to notice small variations in that. But up until the 1900s, the magnetic North Pole had a fixed and current position. Until then, especially up until 2000, this North Pole, as we can see from the plots there, has been on an acceleration and on a direct course for Siberia. So we can see that it has almost made its path across the northern hemisphere, and those are the dates and positions as we've been tracking it up until the point of today. So we can see that it was only moving slightly back then, but now it's certainly accelerated. And if you can do a triangulation, remember how to do it. We take 2 points, say like this post here, and we line it up with another landmark, and we put the compass on north, so that post needs to be in line with the first, with obviously your compass pointing north, and so does the landmark in the distance, and we'll have a truer pinpoint accuracy. I mean, I've got no reason to believe that North Pole isn't following the current the current direction or vector, so that it would have met that line. I mean, the last two have followed that direction. So, with my new line, which is this one here, back at this new line here, comes straight across from the UK to that position. I've got no problem with the accuracy of that.